Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, what's up? My name is vianney.strick. Thank you so much for being here. As you guys can see by the title, today we're going to attempt to do a full face with one palette. So this is the brand new palette from Makeup Forever. It's called their HD Sculpting palette, and it's supposed to have everything you need to conceal, contour, bronze, even skin tone, truly everything. And let me tell you guys, it is not the most affordable product, so I want to make sure that it is worth your money. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my squad. Let's get into it. Let's get started. So for full disclosure, this was sent to me in PR. I've lately been getting some PR from Makeup Forever, which is awesome, but you guys know it doesn't affect my opinion. Like, this is not a cheap product. That's kind of why I wanted to do a dedicated video to it. I'm first going to give you guys a little bit of details about it. If you guys are not interested in that and you just want to see application, go to this minute right here. But let's talk about it really quickly. Like I mentioned, it's called the HD Sculpting palette. It does come in a tin like little palette, and it opens up like this, and this is what it looks like. As you guys can see, I've already swatched a couple shades because I was very interested. So it does come with 6 shades to conceal and even out skin tone. It comes with 2 contour shades and 4 shimmery highlights. But of course, I mean, even though like these could be skin tone shades for somebody else, they could be bronzers for somebody else, you really can mix and match, and I believe that that's what they want you to do. Now, I will say they did come out before this palette. They had a it's called the Ultra HD Invisible Cover Cream Foundation Palette. So they did already have a foundation palette, as well as another palette that also came with blushes, which that to me is my favorite one. But they did send this one to me, so I'm like super grateful that they even decided to send anything to me. So even though this is not called a foundation palette, I was reading on the details, and they are saying that you can use it to conceal, contour, highlight, underpaint, or even out skin tone. So the way I see it, if you're telling me that I can even out my skin tone with this, that means you can use it as like a foundation product. So today I wanted to literally use this one palette as foundation, concealer, contour, bronzer, and highlight, and just see how it works together, see how it wears. Overall, this palette does contain 26.4 grams of product, which, believe it or not, is actually really good. So this is going to retail for $85. Just to give you guys like a quick comparison, the KVD Beauty Cream Foundation, it comes with 10 grams of product for $42. So again, this is 26.2 for $85. So even though it is a pretty pricey palette, when you are talking about how much you're paying per gram of cream, it is a pretty solid price, but obviously it's only solid if you actually can use most of the palette. So that's what we're here for today. I already have my skincare on. I did want to prime with an oil just because we are using a bunch of creams rather than like liquids. I've been really enjoying the ELEMISSuperfood Facial Oil. I just started using it, but a little bit goes such a long way. I'm just going to use that as like a hydrating base for everything to just slide on the face very nicely, and hopefully, you know, melt into the skin. It's supposed to have medium coverage, radiant natural finish, long wearing, good for dry, combo, and natural skin, and it is a cream formula. Like I mentioned, I do have normal to dry skin. I know with these palettes, a lot of people like to like scoop out product. I really don't like scooping out product, but okay. First, we want to match my skin. So let's see, the first thing I'm looking at is probably this shade. Oh, it actually is pretty good shade match. It is a little bit lighter and a little bit too yellow, not as neutral. So I'm gonna mix a little bit of this one with it. Like the perfect shade. I'm gonna grab these 2 shades very equally, half and half, and start kind of applying that on the face. Again, we're going to right now even out our skin tone. And I'm gonna do a pretty light layer to see how far a little bit of product can take us. So see how that's completely evening out my skin tone. So far, the product seems very easy to use. It's much more of a thinner consistency than I imagined, but I kind of like that because I feel like sometimes cream products tend to be a little bit thicker, and you guys know how much I love a lightweight base routine. Now that I've applied it everywhere, I'm gonna go in with the sponge just to blend it all out. Again, I'm gonna treat this like I would treat any foundation, and I always like to finish it off with a sponge. But so far, it's definitely living up to the claim of a medium, natural, radiant finish. For concealer, I definitely think maybe we should try this shade out first. It might be a good shade for me, so let's go ahead and put that under the eyes. This actually looks like a perfect shade. Was this palette made for me? Yeah, that looks really nice. So remember, if you are using this to conceal, not just highlight, it will only give you that medium coverage. But remember, you can always conceal with an actual concealer and then use this to brighten and highlight. Obviously, it's gonna be a big deal if it sets nicely with powder as well as how it wears. That is one side done. Looks great. So far, I'm loving this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not skeptical about palettes like this because, I mean, they serve a really nice purpose, but I tend to be picky with what products I use on my face as well as like under my eyes as well as my bronzer. So, you know, for me, it would be hard to find a palette where I love every single formula for every part of my face. But so far, just from first impression, for foundation and concealer, this is looking really, really nice. Why don't we bronze first and then contour? That's kind of like how I like to go about it. So I'm gonna grab this Sigma F53 Air. I like it because it's like a very flimsy stipple brush, and we have two shades to choose from. This one to me is definitely more warm tone, like perfect for bronzing. I do like the size of the palette. It's not like too big or too small. Like I can definitely fit this brush in there. I like that it's not like too small to where you can't fit face brushes in it, because we don't only want to work with like detailing brush. Like I would still want to work with a brush like this. So that is a cream bronzer, and that actually worked out really, really nicely. If you obviously have deeper skin tone, you can definitely go in with this other shades to like make it darker. And if you have lighter skin tone, like this is what this whole mixing palette is for. So so far so good. So that looks really nice. I am bronzed up and ready to go. I'm gonna use the Rare Beauty foundation brush, and I'm going to grab, let's go in with this lighter contour shade first and see if we can just get away with using this one. So this is gonna create, instead of like the warmth, it's gonna create that hollowness to give ourselves some bone structure. So this is why I like to bronze first, because then I can just go in with the contour. The shade's actually working perfectly. Okay. I'm gonna do a little bit of that contouring technique where you kind of bring it down and it gives you the buccal fat removal. Love that. I don't contour my nose just because it's crooked, but I will say for the cheekbones, this actually is a really nice shade. I think it looks very natural. I'm gonna grab this shade down here, and I'm just going to clean up the cheekbones a little bit and highlight under those to do a little bit of like a reverse contour. Just like that. For the highlighters, we do have 4 different options. I know it's kind of hard to see. This is more of like a pale gold. This is a rose gold, darker one. This is more of like an actual yellow gold. And then this is a really pretty like purpley lavender shade. Let's use this gold shade. Why not? And I'm just going to tap it on the cheekbone. Oh, that's really, really pretty actually. Definitely didn't even need to add more like dew, but this is adding that shimmer, and it looks really, really pretty. I've been getting more into cream highlighters lately, and that's really pretty. I'm gonna use the lighter pale shade and put that on the top of my nose as well as on the bridge. Okay, and lastly, because I forgot, I'm gonna grab that contour shade again and do a little bit of snatching on the jawline because we're already here. Okay, and then a little trick is to add a little line right here in the middle. And I don't know what it is, but it just kind of slims you out. Makes you look a little bit more bony. This is the full face, so this is what it's looking like so far. So I'll be using the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter in the shade 2 Medium, you guys already know, under the eyes, and then the number 7 Lift and Illuminate powder all over the face. So let's go ahead and set the under eyes. I'm gonna be using a powder puff because it just gives me the most flawless application of powder. Ooh, So far so good. It looks really nice. I am using my favorite powders, but the formula with my favorite powder is not drying. So we like that. That set beautifully. Okay, and then let me grab my face powder that I like, and then with a brush, I'm just going to set my face like I always do. I just tap, 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 tap all over the face. This looks pretty flawless, to be honest. And I know that sometimes powders can just make everything disappear, but I think that the work that we did is there. Like, my face is definitely evened out. My under eyes are concealed. My face is bronzed. My cheekbones are chiseled. This looks like a very, very beautiful base so far. Ugh. Are we really going to cut the grass right now? I'm so sorry, you guys. And by the way, that the highlighter is still popping through on my nose as well as my cheekbones. So obviously, I still want to see how the rest of my makeup would go on top. So I will keep it in the video and show you guys me finishing up the rest of my makeup, seeing how it looks at the end, and seeing how it wears. But so far, you guys, as pretty obvious that I am pretty impressed. I mean, looks pretty good. So, makeup is done. Skin looks good. Let me show you guys, I know I'm in my studio, let me show you guys what my skin looks like in front of window light with my phone. You guys, my base looks really, really good. I purposely only used matte products on my face, so a matte bronzer and a matte blush. I did not use any highlighter, and as you can see, that highlighter is still showing through. Like, I can still, in person, I can still see the shimmer on my nose, on my bridge. You can still see the highlight, the contour, the bronzer. Everything went on beautifully. My makeup looks great. It looks great. Like, I would definitely use this as like, just like my full makeup. So far, first impressions, I do think this is worth the money, and I think that this would work for a lot of people in different situations, because I feel like if you're like a very low maintenance person, I think you would like this, especially for traveling, because you have everything you need. If you're a more high maintenance or you're just trying to do more glam, I think this is a really cool palette to have all these extra steps as well. Does that make sense? So yeah, my makeup looks great. Let's do a little fast forward to tonight, and let me show you guys how it wore. Hopefully I like it, so here you go. Alrighty guys, so I'm about to go work out. I'm only going for a walk, but it's like a 3-mile walk. So I had to show you the makeup just in case it got messed up on my workout. But look at my skin. I'm literally in front of a window. This looks gorgeous. Do you see that glow from the highlight coming through? See how the foundation or the palette looks like radiant and natural, but not overly glowy? Like, this looks gorge, you guys. It's been about 3.5, 4 hours, and I am impressed. It has officially been 6 hours, and as you guys know, I went for a run. No, a walk. But still, this is what the foundation is looking like. Very impressed. Highly recommend it. I think if you have normal to dry to combo skin, it might be perfect. If you do have oily skin, just, you know, set a little bit more or use a mattifying primer. But other than that, you guys, this looks gorgeous, glowy. It feels lightweight, and I definitely would trust this one palette for my whole base routine. So thumbs up. All I'm gonna say is that I really hope it wore well, because right now it looks stunning, it looks beautiful, it looks flawless. It doesn't feel or look heavy. Honestly, you would think that I just used my foundation, my concealer, like everything. So loving it. You guys, I am pleasantly surprised, not gonna lie. Something about this formula really was super creamy and blendable. I didn't even have to spray my face with a spray before I blended it out. Like, it really is very seamless. So super impressed with this. Let me know if you guys have tried it. I will link it down below, and I'll also link all the products that I used on my face today. Let me know your comments. What do you guys think about this? Do you like the concept? What do you think? And do you think it looks good on my skin? But I will say, it looks really, really freaking good. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.